Vikas Singh, Senior Advocate of the Supreme Court, is with us on the broadcast as well. Mr. Singh, you heard my colleague Saurabh there talking about the evidence, the nature of evidence that was there to keep Aryan Khan behind bars for 28 days. And how do you see this playing out?
So I have been saying from the beginning that this was actually badly handled. This whole case was very badly handled because this was not they should have got even 1 day's custody. So this whole on possession and pledge to be consumer, invariably he will in touch with some dealer or the other who may be further in touch with some big dealer or the other, and who may be further in touch with some big brain behind the whole smuggling racket. But that doesn't make a consumer a dealer. I mean, that's the whole point, and which was missed out completely by the trial court and the high court. Also, in imposing these conditions, according to me, has done it a little mechanically. Because why should all these conditions apply for a person against whom there is literally speaking no charge? I mean, you tell me, if a person is not found in possession, and if a person is not even alleged to have consumed, there is no question of taking him into custody. So, this is a real miscarriage of justice that has happened in this case. And if Shah Rukh Khan had gone to the High Court the very next day, I am sure he would have got his son released, staying in the way the case has been mishandled. You see, even after grant of bail, he filled up, and with the result that he stayed in custody for 1 more day. So it's a real botch up by his team, and I don't see any evidence of credible nature, or any evidence rather of any thing which can nail Aryan Khan in this case. And he should, in fact, file for a discharge and get himself discharged at the earliest, rather than face a long-drawn trial and, with all these restrictions of travel, etc. So, I personally feel that this is a case which should be a case where he should go for discharge immediately.
Mr. Singh, you're also Sushant Singh Rajput's family lawyer in the case, and a lot of parallels have been drawn between these two cases. With an eye on the NCB targeting end users, especially, people belonging to Bollywood. What do you make of that?
So NCB is now, I would say, very anxious to get into media. And basically all these cases are being picked up to get into the spotlight. And which is not a good trend, because NCB is a very serious law, it's a very serious offense. And it is meant to be for serious offenders. It is not meant to be for, in fact, it is not meant for consumers at all. And for consumers, it is according to the bailable offence, because it is only 1 year sentence. So NCB is not doing its job properly. I would be the happiest person if they had, caught somebody who had been in the cartel or in the state of bringing drugs in this country and been responsible in spoiling our youth. But instead of doing that, they are targeting these small-time consumers. And, I would say that in Delhi, most of these parties, our children tell us that drugs are being consumed by children in today's parties. So if that be the standard of NCB, they should start getting parties in Delhi as well, where, powerful people are there. And why don't they do that? So it's not fair for them to, just pick up Bollywood and give Bollywood a bad name, as if the Bollywood is filled with drug addicts, etc. So that's not the right attitude of NCB. Instead of going for the big fish, They are just diverting the attention of the people.